You guys, um, man, I just started recording. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but I'll do a little quick update. Maybe not quick, but just an update. So I don't know when I last made that video, and I'm not going to check right now, but it was definitely a few months ago, maybe like 6 months ago, a year ago. I don't. Oh, it might have been. I don't know. And I said that I was eventually going to go to the Olympics, and the dream is still there. Um, I, I've made a lot of improvements since last year. I started training last year in like May. I mean, I had some running background in high school, where I was okay, but nothing special or anything. Um, and eventually, all I did last year pretty much was just a lot of like mileage, just trying to increase my mileage as high as possible. And I got injured for probably about 5 of those months within a year. So it's not really the best, not really the best, you know, idea it's not for everyone. But even then, um, a few weeks ago, I ended up doing 162 kilometers. I think it's closer to 160 because some of those kilometers were like part of a rest where I was like walking, I think. But my watch was recording it. But roughly 160 kilometers a few weeks ago in 1 week. And that's what I was aiming for. And I'm going to continue to or so once I brought that to up to 160, I decided, okay, we're gonna lower it. We have a cross country season right now, and I'm gonna try to do really well. What I've noticed is that even though a lot of my training has been slow, um, once like every single workout that I do, I can feel the big steps I'm making in fitness. So, for example, when I was still like increasing my mileage and kind of, all my workouts were just yeah, I was very fatigued. I was running, let's say, my average like kilometer pace for like an 8K race pace because cross country is 8 kilometers. So if running at race pace, I'm running like 320s, 325s. Sometimes if I'm really tired, like by the end of the workout, I might be running like 340 or something. If I pace myself poorly. Um, went too hard early and then died. And what I noticed is that after I stopped my high mileage and I brought it down to about 100, so and before the 160 week, I was like kind of averaging like 120 to 140 for like 3, 4 weeks. Um, and so now I'm bringing it down to 100, which is like a significant drop, but it's still like not that bad. It's not nothing. It's like, um, 10 kilometers every non-workout day, 15 kilometers every workout day, and then like a 25-kilometer for like my long run sort of thing. Well, it's actually been like 30 or 35 kilometers, but still. Um, what yeah, so what I've noticed is that every single workout since then, I start moving from like 320, and then all of a sudden I'm like at 310 for my 8K pace, and then all of a sudden I'm at like 305, and then just this last Monday I'm at like 3 minute. I'm hitting like 258. Well, I was just 1K rep, but like I'm hitting around this like 305 to like 258 sort of range, depending on how long the rep is. If some of the reps have been like 2 kilometers long, and I'm averaging 305, which is pretty good because that's like a 610. For me, it's pretty good. Anyways, um, I'm 1 week out from one of my big races, and then I'm 3 weeks out for the big race, which is my provincial race. We do well, we make it to nationals. It's going to be really tough, but we can see if we can do it. Um, yeah, so I think the point, all right, I'm obviously making this mostly to document it for myself, but if there is anyone watching, and you're trying to improve, I've held this philosophy since I started training a little over a year ago, about 15 months ago, is that and I'm not saying I made this up or anything. I'm obviously copying from like, the 80/20 method, polarized training method. I did not make this up, but the idea is to look for long-term improvement. And when you're really starting this training, the first year or probably 2 years are going to be rough. The first year, I was making improvements for sure, but like, um those improvements weren't like actually like tangible in the form of races. And I also like never raced because of like COVID, but I never peaked during last year. There was no point where I felt like I wanted to race, um, because I was tired all the time. Um, but it was actually like a good tired. So, anyways, so yeah, one is that, you will have to like, this type of training really tests how committed you are to the sport. Um, if you're willing to go 2 years, or well, more like a year, but a full year straight or 2 years without really seeing any improvement, um, it's gonna that tests your commitment. It tests like, why are you in it? I'm in it because I love the sport, but I also want to get better and I want to be the best that I can. And if this is what it takes, then I'm okay with sacking a few years of training. Um, so that's one thing. Another is, though, that I feel like now I'm able to, the more that, because I've trained so much, I'm actually able to train even more than like so many other of my teammates. My other teammates, they're not keeping up with me in practice. And they're only doing like, 80, 90 kilometers a week or something. Now some of them can do more, but once they do more, they feel really fatigued. And it's a few weeks out from provincials, and there's no way that they're going to be increasing their mileage, a few weeks before competition. Um, so that was the first thing. The second thing, and this is going to be the last thing, is that, and this is similar, is that training is, I don't actually, there's probably a better breakdown than this, but I would say it's about 75% commitment, which is just, it's essentially focus and just hard work. Oh, it's not entirely hard work, but it's just, are you willing to make sacrifices? Are you willing to spend an hour, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, for an entire year of just your training? Are you willing to, not actually go to parties? Are you willing to, not go? I mean, don't get me wrong, I still go out, I still have fun sometimes, but I don't go crazy like like I used to. Um, you know, I'm not watching like all these movies. I'm not playing video games. I used to play a lot of video games. I've given up a lot, just to be able to do this on top of like school and other things. So yeah, one is commitment and sacrifice. That's about 75%. Um, I think 20 or 10% is kind of like luck. Maybe 5% luck. There is some luck to it. There's some like genetic variation, maybe, whatever. I don't really care about genetics. I think you should never think about genetics. But there's like, some people are just more prone to injuries. And that's a part of like genetics. I'm not saying that like everything has to be VO2 max or like blood cell count or whatever. But some people just get injured more. Some people, their feet pronate or something. So there's a bit of luck. There's some luck where it's like, maybe you just work too much, and it's really hard to fit in training, or maybe your work is like manual labor, so it's really hard to like actually get training. And so yeah, that's part of the luck. Um, another 10%, so this is like up to like 90%. Another 10% is just hard work. Can you, and I know I sort of said hard work, but like when the workouts get tough, um, you know, like do you stick in it? A lot of it's mental. Are you willing to push yourself, past how other people push yourself? Can you push yourself more than the person beside you? They can push yourself themselves. And then I think the last 10%, 5%, this is a huge part that I think a lot of people gloss over. And this is what I wanted to leave you guys with and leave myself with. I was thinking about this the other day, and it's dreaming. Um, you know, a lot of people, they're okay with just wanting to be average, dreaming about coming 30th or something in a race of 200. That's still pretty good. Not gonna lie, top 30, not bad. Get, get some points for your team and cross country meets. That's good. But I'm not even aiming for first. Obviously this year I don't think I'm good enough for first or anything. I don't even think I'm good enough for top 10. I'm gonna try to hit top 20 this year, but I'm aiming for first next year. I'm aiming for the Olympics in 7 years. Um, I'm aiming, and don't get me wrong, I'm aiming for gold in 7 years. Now, if I don't hit gold, I don't care. But I'm gonna dream for it, because if there's a point where I'm on the start line at the Olympics, I'm not gonna give up because it's like, well, okay, I only wanted to get here. Who cares? I'm not aiming for first or something. No, when I show up, I want to win. If I am on the start line, I want to win. Um, and that's something that a lot of people don't have. And again, it comes back to commitment. I mean, you don't have, you can dream big, and to you, dreaming big could be like sub 3 hours in the marathon. And if you only have time for like, an hour a week or whatever, or an hour a day or something for a week, but like not much else, that's good. Like that's a good dream. It's better than other people. And so I think having dreams of what you want to do and being focused on your dreams, willing to commit to your dreams, um, I think that's that's a key part about being a good athlete. Um, so yeah. Anyways, kind of all I want to say. I know that last part is kind of silly, but I really see too many people at practice um, just go through the motions, and you can tell that they're trying, but you know uh everyone's trying, right? So what do you have that they don't? um yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening. Thank you myself for making this, because I know nobody's probably going to watch this, but that's okay. Yeah. All right, take care.